Super partial eclipse. America to UK.
Preparing for totality. This is Dallas, Texas, where tomorrow lunchtime, 100% of the sun will be covered by the moon.
Incredible. That's if it's not cloudy, though, in Dallas.
Is ready to witness daytime darkness for her 20th.
We had the problem here in the UK, the last big one, didn't we, guys? Remember? Back in the 90s.
It's just such a feeling in my soul that I'm so grateful to be there and so happy to see it. And that I'm sort of addicted to them. I'm addicted to that feeling of that being that for those few seconds or minutes, being one with the universe and being really present and feeling it.
I think it's going to be scary because it's going to be very dark.
The birds will be hooting at night. The owls will be.
I've never seen an eclipse, so my parents are scared too because they also never seen an eclipse.
I haven't seen it, but I felt it.
The last time a total eclipse was visible in the US was in 2017, when thousands gathered here in Oregon.
Wow.
This year in the United States is a great place to see the total solar eclipse. It will be coming up through Mexico and exiting up toward Maine, so across the central part of the United States. You need to be inside the path of totality to see the total eclipse, which is a small band. However, you can see partial eclipse from all over the United States. So here in Washington, we'll see about 87% of the sun covered by the moon.
Does that look up at the sun?
People in the west of the country should be able to catch a partial eclipse from just before 8 tomorrow evening. It's been nearly 25 years since the last total eclipse was visible here in 1999.
There you go.
The next one will be 66 years from now, in September 2090. Ben Wolvin, BBC News.
Well, we are joined by
66
astronomer
years.
Ben Marshall.
Incredible.
Morning to you. Very exciting. The hype is developing out there in the United States. What's so good about an eclipse?
Well, they're very rare, first of all. So you get loads of different eclipses, but the one we've got coming on Monday is what's called a total eclipse. So the moon is close enough that it's going to be completely covering the sun. So during the day, in like Texas, you're talking about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it will go pitch black. Like it's in the middle of the night, and you'll be able to see the stars, and more importantly, you'll be able to see what's called the corona around the sun.
The ring of the corona.
It's very rare.
My friend Roy saw, like in 1999, Ordinary. My friend Rory, you've seen my YouTube channel a few times.
And the moon, but it just so
He was friends with Patrick Moore. They went round to his house with John Vines and looked through his telescope. I'm not joking, guys.
Yes. So you do get different types. So in October last year, we had what's called an annular eclipse, which is where the moon does pass in front of the sun.
So you can see it, but it doesn't
Yeah,
cover
but it's
it.
a little bit further away, so it's slightly smaller. So you get what's called a ring of fire around the edge, because it doesn't completely cover the sun. But now it's a little bit closer. It's about 242,000 miles away, so it's a little bit larger.
Is that all?
Just
round the
practically
corner.
next door.
You can imagine back in medieval times that when on the occasions things like that happened, they must have been terrified. Sign from God, whatever.
Yeah.
Now scientists learn from it. What can you learn?
Well, there were scientists around those days. They were called witches and sorcerers. They were chased and executed by the, you name it, the Catholics and all that.
We used it to prove Einstein's general relativity. So Sir Arthur Eddington took an image of the stars behind the sun, and then took the same image 6 months later.
Historically speaking.
You could see that the stars had moved just slightly, which meant that the gravity of the sun was bending the light and proved general relativity.
Oh, wow. That's what I would use it for, Roger.
Yeah.
That's probably
I
how.
hope you're keeping up at 8:32 at home on a Sunday morning. So you can learn from it. I mean, it's very important, isn't it? We saw it in the pictures, some people using special equipment to look. It's very important you don't just stare at it, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you should never look at the sun anyway. But if you are in totality, your eyes, when you look at the sun, kind of adapt and stop you. But when it's in totality, your eyes don't know that the sun is there.
Which is what people describe as being extremely spooky. People who've witnessed this full eclipse say the birds stop singing, everything descends into momentary darkness, and it feels like the end of the universe.
But one of the things that happen as well is, as the sun sets, just after it's set, you get that blue haze on the western horizon. During the totality, you will get that in 360 degrees around you. The whole horizon will have that blue glow to it.
Wow.
And then you get weird things with shadows. So as just before it turns into totality, shadows become incredibly sharp So trees will form perfect leaf,
Oh,
leaf shadows
wow.
if you're lucky enough to.
And it's interesting that you get them about once every 18
Fascinating.
months somewhere in the world, don't we,
Yeah.
a total eclipse.
Yeah.
But the last one here was 1999.
1999.
I remember it.
I didn't see much of it.
Old enough.
It was
What do you
too
remember?
cloudy.
I remember I was working. That's about all I really
It was
remember.
overcast.
Did it
And
feel
that's it.
creepy?
Yeah, it did feel creepy. It went dark. That's all I really remember. But the interesting thing is the next one in this country that you'll be able to see completely won't be until 2090. So
No.
if I ever want to see another one in my lifetime, I'm going to have to go somewhere to do it. They're not.
You
that
never know.
common.
You might still be.
I doubt it.
Well, an exercise.
They're very rare, aren't they?
Yes. So there is one in 2 years' time in Spain in August. It's probably the best place to go for it. So there are, a lot of us are already planning travel for that one.
Okay.
But people plan these years in advance to go and see them. I've got a friend who bought his house because it's on the path to totality.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, he's
That
going to
is
be clouded out.
commitment.
So that's
Blimey.
Is that
for tomorrow's, yeah.
for tomorrow?
Oh, what a
Oh, no.
shame.
Oh dear. So where's that? Where's the house? Is that in the States?
Dallas.
In Dallas. Oh no. So we won't be able to see it.
It's going to have to travel 6 hours.
So we bought a house so we could be in the right place, and the clouds are going to be in the way.
Yeah,
10 out of 10 for commitment, though.
I know.
So
Incredible.
if you ever had totality in Manchester, where I live,
I mean,
no point
no.
buying your house because there's always.
What they're not saying is the total eclipse in the UK will be in the late evening or early morning, so it's not worth it.
I was planning on going to Ayrshire.
Yeah.
So you're both options to go travelling around the world to see the total eclipse,
And the other
guys.
as well is if you're planning on looking at it, make sure you've got the right stuff to look at it. Don't go out and look at the sun.
No,
You
don't.
need a colander to look at them. They look like the light projected. You look at the shadow, the little holes all form the shape, and you'll see the little bit missing. But don't go out and just look at the sun, please.
And you didn't buy a house in Ayrshire just in case?
No, I haven't. No.
Thank you so much.
No, don't do what I did, looking at Mercury.
Ben Marshall is an
See,
astronomer
binoculars
at the
at work
Glasgow Observatory. That's up in Teesside, you
Yes.
said, isn't it?
with coloured lenses.
Really looking forward to seeing the image.
Well,
Thank you so much.
Mercury, I think it was Venus or Mercury, one or the other.
8:36 now. Just days after Scotland.
So I like this video, please subscribe to my channel, Sanjay, and the force be with you always, quite what the needs and the money. That way, the needs of you, because there's definitely a lot of interesting things on my show worth looking at. As my friend Sparky and Jim, but every Friday, 3 to 5 pm, IT of Fry thing. So Heels Ratio every Friday. And this is my friend Shane with Cindy Lou every Friday at 10 am to 12 pm on the Sorry Heels Ratio. Shane News Ratio show every Friday as well, as which shows to listen to. And so my friend John on Lars Show every Sunday at 9 to 12 pm on Lars Show every Sunday at 9 to 12 pm, which is on today. He's scratching on the signs, just like go place, try to play smart, baby. Bye.